Hey, welcome back. In my last video I showed you how to make a copper ring dish out of a copper pipe, and that's how that turned out. In that video I mentioned that I typically like to make my ring dishes out of thicker copper. This is 10 gauge, it's 2 1/4 round, and I think it makes a pretty cool little ring dish. This one isn't finished, but you get the idea. I like to dimple the backs of them. I think they look cool. Now, I've seen a lot of people making coffee scoops out of these. This is the same basic process as making a coffee scoop. So, follow along, I'll show you how to do it. Also, I've had some comments in the past complaining that my hands are dirty and my fingernails are unkept. Well, I'm here to tell you right now it's not going to get any better. I'm a blacksmith. I'm working in my shop. My hands get dirty. Here is what I'll be using in this video. Now these tools aren't strictly necessary, but the swage block especially makes things a lot easier. So does this thing. I welded this up myself, you could probably tell because I'm not a very good welder. But if I can do it, you can do it. So let's get into it. Swage block isn't necessarily necessary, it just makes life easier. If you don't have a swage block, that's okay. You can find some other things to dish this in. This, however, I think is a really, really useful tool. For one, we're going to be striking it into here to form that indentation. Just an easy way to do it. You could hammer it out, but I made this tool specifically for this purpose, to make life easier. So I'm going to use it. Now, this is a struck tool, and this is mild steel. It's going to mushroom over time. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. You need to clear up that mushrooming before it gets too bad, because it will send chips flying if you let it mushroom over too much. It's not good. Clear it up before it gets too bad. Also, we're going to be using this as a stake to support the copper as we're dimpling it. So this is nice to have. I'd recommend you make one, or buy one I suppose, but they're easy enough to make if you have a welder. Now I'm just going to get this centered as well as I can and hammer it down. It's a lot easier than using a hammer and doing this, let me tell you. Now this is looking pretty good already. There's this on the back, but that'll be taken care of. Now when you're using a swage block to hammer into like this, you're going to have impressions on the other side. So the more polished and refined you get this, the better it'll look. And while I'm doing this, I am wearing my eye protection and my ear protection. For this next part, I'll be putting it in my vise. Now this is a little long. I don't want it to be resting on this, so I'm not putting it in the middle of my vise. I'm going to take this right here and use it as a spacer and tighten up my vise. Now, whenever you're working in a vise and you've got something off to the side like this, it's a good idea to put a spacer on the other side of the same thickness. It'll just keep your vise healthy. You got to take care of your tools. Now I'm just going to start hammering this and putting the dimples in. One thing I should mention, but I didn't do, is after getting it out of the swage block, just wipe it down with some sandpaper real quick. I think this is a forged scale or something that got hammered into the copper itself. It'll probably be fine, but it's just something to think about. Now, if you were doing a coffee scoop, you'd be just about done. Just have to clean this up. But since I'm doing a ring dish, I'm going to be doing a little bit more. Now, this works fine, I suppose, as a ring dish. You could put a ring in there. But a lot of people don't like how it's unstable. So we're going to put a flat on that. For this, you just take it and smack it with a hammer. That's really all you need to do to create a flat in there. But I tend to use a flatter for this just because, I don't know, I feel like it's more even. And I have a flatter, so why not? Now that was one hit. That's pretty good. It's a lot better than it was. I think I'm going to do one more hit. Now that's just about it as it comes to this ring dish. If you want to, you could stamp a little message into it, like love, for instance. I feel like that adds a lot to it. And you can get these little stamps on Amazon pretty easily. Impress art. These are pretty good for copper. I'll leave a link if you're interested. Now the astute among you may have noticed that I didn't anneal this, not once. That's because the copper started out pretty soft, and I haven't hammered on it enough to make it too hard. And I don't want it to be extra soft by the time I'm done with it, so I'm just leaving it as is. And because I haven't annealed it, there's not really any oxides on here. So what I like to do to clean these up is to take my Dremel and these little guys and give them a whirl. You could also chuck these up in a drill or a drill press if you wanted to, but I think an adjustable speed Dremel is just perfect for these little guys. These guys are 180 grit, I think 320 grit, and then 400 grit, and then I'm going to polish it. So you always move up with your grits. You want to take out those previous scratches. Aw man, the weirdos who always comment about how my hands are nasty are just gonna have a field day with this. Also, while I'm here, I think that's better. So that is just about it. There's not much left to do except for cleaning up the polishing compound that's left on here. Now, if you were making a coffee scoop, you'd want to leave this uncoated or coat it in a food-safe oil. Now, I'm making a ring dish, so I'm going to be coating it in a clear coat, a scratch-resistant clear coat. The stuff I use is called Protect-A-Clear, and it works pretty well. It's mainly used for jewelry. But that's just about it for this video. If you liked it, you know what to do. If you hated it, tell me why. I'd appreciate your feedback. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.